Thank you so much for being here, and we look forward sharing a lot of insights around this. And just to start with, we have three panelists apart from me, and will introduce themselves. And then, secondly, please feel free to ask as much question as possible. You can put it in your chat box during the entire session. We will take up these questions in the right at the very end. We have a dedicated Q&A session for you. So please feel free to put all the questions in the chat box. So let me start now because we have to cover a lot of insights around this solution, and I hope you're able to see the screen. So first of all, let me introduce the entire panelist. First of all, Mr. Srinivas Rao, and it's my extreme pleasure and honor to introduce Mr. Srinivas Rao, who is currently the AVP IT and SAP at Prestige Group in Bangalore. Mr. Rao brings nearly 20 years of extensive experience in leading and managing large-scale IT transformation engagement. His deep expertise and leadership have been instrumental in driving significant technological advancement within his organization. We are excited to have him with us today as we explore how these experiences intersect with the evolving landscape of data privacy enabled through SAP UI masking. So, thank you so much, Mr. Srinivas Rao. Welcome to this session.
Thank you, Ankit.
We also have Srinath, and I'm very pleased to introduce him as well. He's the Director of Financial and Risk Solution at SAP. He's a qualified chartered accountant and comes with close to 20 years of experience within the same domain. He's responsible for driving CFO solutions in SAP, where his strategic vision and deep expertise have consistently driven the successful outcomes. His extensive knowledge about this product in financial and risk solution as well makes him a valuable contributor to our discussion today. So welcome, Srinath. Welcome to this session. Looking forward to hear your point of view as well around this topic. And finally, we have Sarath Polepale, who is part of Protiviti member firm, and he's part of our own GRC solution. A solution that is led by me. I am Ankit Sharma. I'm a managing director with Protiviti, and we have a GRC solutions within the Protiviti, which is a member of almost 135 team members. So thank you so much all for joining this session. Without further ado, I think let's hit the discussions. So these would be the point of discussions today. So what is the importance of data protection? Why we are here today? What is the area that we need to focus upon when we talk about importance of data protection? Uh, we will also talk about SAP UI Masking, who helped a lot of clients around the world to manage their data sensitivity, to protect their data center sensitive information. We will take the use cases as well. What is the effective roadmap for building this data protection within your SAP environment? What are the future trends? And we will hear exclusively from Mr. Srinivasa Rao about how was the journey with the SAP UI masking and how are they protecting their data within SAP. And finally, we will have a dedicated Q&A session where you can ask the queries. We'll pick up some of the questions and we'll answer those as well. So first of all, we know the importance of data protection, and these are some of the very minimal incidents that has been happening over the last 5 or 10 years. And when you look at it, you see there is effect on all the three pillars. The pillars is people, process, and technology. Now, if you look at all these particular data breaches, the impact that it had on the people side, there are people who are affected. Let's say 147 people affected in the first data breach for a financial services organization. 3 billion accounts were compromised for a popular IT service provider when the data breach happened in 2013-14. A leading international hotel chain had 500 million guests affected. And when we see the overall value of this particular data breach, it goes right from billions to millions. And you can see all over it across all these top 10 breaches that we have seen. And it continues to become a very prominent. It continues to become extremely problematic when we talk about how important for us it is to manage the entire data, the sensitivity, and what are the different solution, what are the different means and methodology that we need to adapt. And of course, we do not want to end up in these particular list. And it has all the major impacts, right from financial reputation, so on and so forth. Now, talking about why data protection and why it is important for any organization. So what you see here is first pillar. The pillar is there is increasing focus on the regulations, and specifically if we talk about the data privacy regulations, there are regulatory frameworks where it is extremely complex due to their own regional and private laws in different countries, different part of within the country, so on and so forth. It demands a lot of transparency, higher expectation for clear data usage policies and procedure. We see there are n numbers of policy and procedure. A lot of organization needs to adopt when it comes to regulations. We need to be prepared when it comes to any kind of incidents management, and that's where we need to be proactive rather than reactive when it comes to data protection. There are legal consequences as well, and we know that a lot of importance has been given to this regulation, and hence DPDPA Act has been uh, was called out last year. I think the policies are drafted already. It will roll out very soon. And then it's a urge of data security and data governance. And what we want to ensure is once we adapt this regulations, when we abide by these regulations, the operational impact has to be minimal. And that's where the solutions like what we will talk about today, SAP UI masking, ensure that all this important data gets protected, all this data sensitive data gets protected when it comes to your entire data journey. The second pillar to this is, of course, the rising cyber threat, and we are seeing that consistently for over the years. We saw some of the examples, anyways. There are rising attacks, there are consistent data breaches, and not just in the organization, at the personal loss as well. And most of it is because it hits the financial loss, and it's a potential significant financial damage from these breaches. While financial loss is one of the aspect, it also affects the reputation, and affects the reputation really hard. There is complete operational disruption because of this cyber threats, and we have seen that, we have encountered that as well. And what it for us, it becomes necessary to make sure that we adapt every methodology, every framework to make sure that we are cyber resilient. There are phishing risks, there are ransomware, and of course, that leads to extreme data loss as well. Then finally, since we are talking about data as a whole, it requires data management as well. There is huge number of data. Every organization is driven by data right now. So how do we ensure compliance? How on this data? How do we ensure we have appropriate cyber threat defense? How do we ensure data integrity in order to make sure that we are maintaining precise and secure data to prevent this unauthorized access? And while we do that, business needs to continue. There has to be a strong operational continuity, because at the end of the day, every organization is running some business. While we adapt all of these measures, while we abide by all of these regulations, while we manage all of this data, how do we ensure that business does not get impacted? So these are all the measures that we need to take when we talk about effective data management. And while we do that, how much risk we are reducing? Every organization has its own risk appetite. So how do we reduce? How we are reducing risk? How are we enabling appropriate controls to reduce those risks? And how do we bring in more transparency when it comes to demand for clear data handling and privacy practices? So these are major three pillars when we look at in terms of why um, data sensitivity, data protection, and what is the importance of having this in large scale when we talk about data sensitivity management. Now, we know that every organization is taking all the necessary steps for managing data. And we will talk about the solution that we recently implemented at Prestige Group as well. But before we do that, I think I would want to pass it to Srinath, who will provide his point of view when it comes to overall data importance of data protection, how it will help us, comply with the regulation like DPDPA or GDPR, so on and so forth, and how this solution overall helps an organization to make sure that your data is safe when it comes to critical data sensitive management. So Srinath, over to you for your point of view around this solution and overall data management. Srinath, you there? I think probably Srinath is facing some why don't you uh, continue with the SAP UI masking as a solution? And once Srinath is here, we will ask for his point of view later. So, Sarath, over to you.
Hey, am I audible, Ankit? Sorry.
Yeah, you are audible
Yes.
now, Srinath. Yeah,
Sorry. I think there's a network lag. I hope
yeah,
I think now it's audible and clear, loud and clear.
yes, very clear. Yeah,
Okay.
go ahead,
So
Srinath. Yeah.
thanks, Ankit. Thanks for your team, and thanks to Prestige team. Srini, thanks for coming on board to give your precious time to offer your experience on UI. Okay, coming to what is SAP's point of view, I want to make it very short and crisp so that the point is you can note it and you can always come back to us uh, if there is any more clarification. So the first point is like Ankit mentioned about the compliance, right? People starting about talking about data privacy, DPTB Act in India right now, plus which is also the GDPR, which came across in Europe around a decade back. Right, so there are a lot of regulatory compliance just making customers to think about what kind of tools which will make them comply, even though as we speak, a couple of days ago, government of India has come out, has committed to release the make into a law in 30 days. That's what Ashwini and Vaishnav has told in the parliament, that it making another 30 days we could able to make into an act. Okay, which means that it is going to get implemented, it is going to get regulated, it is going to get mandated as the days goes by. Okay, so already a lot of customers, SAP's own customers, have come back to us on how SAP could able to help in meeting the compliance aspect of this DPDP Act. And one of the tools that we recommend is always this UI masking and data privacy solutions, which is part of the GRC suite of SAP, which will able to ensure that your first steps on the data privacy in terms of data visualization is safeguarded. So that the first thing that I point of view from SAP, you could start exploring on what is the UI masking. Thanks to Protiviti, there are a lot of use cases. From SAP side also on how customers are already getting the benefit of this product. Okay, and one of the other important aspect here is this product is not just released right now. Okay, this has been worked for more than a decade, and there have been instances of large enterprise customers who have already using it for their very sensitive data protections. Okay, even before a regulatory compliance came into aspect, they themselves had proactively started to do this project. In fact, Prestige also is one of the customers, who did it in a very proactive manner to protect their customer data. So, which is very, very important. Foresight with which SAP's customers and partners are ready to support customers' initiative on this. Second is on the last mile control, that is called as granular control. Okay, I'm sure you would have heard about it in some other forums on how SAP has got its GRC suite, which manages the access control for to meet the SOD regulations. Then you have process control, which manages just the internal control framework requirements. Then you have risk management, you have fraud management, like that, different solutions to meet different requirements. Okay, even though that's all typically from at a granular at a process level, what is the solution which meets at the granular level, at the field level, at the table level, is this UA masking. I'm sure in the next 10 minutes, when I hand it over to Sharath and the team who are going to demonstrate the solution, you could very well see how this control of at the granular level, how the data is masked, how the data could be partially masked and unmasked. So, and with the regular, with correct roles and authorization also, with the flexible roles and authorization, how this also helping organization with the granular control. And I would say that this is the last mile connectivity of how people be able to have this absolute control on the data. Third is uh, Third is on the ease of implementation. Why I'm saying this ease of implementation from an SAP, I'm sure you would have heard about a lot of SAP implementations takes time, which has got which takes its own sweet time of um, to get it implemented. But when it comes to UI masking, the best aspect of this product is it is more or like very easy to adapt, easy to suit, because the customers more or less are today knows what field to be blocked, what field to be masked. Uh, Not only from their own perspective, even from a regulatory standpoint of view, there are enough guidances to tell, like for example, customer data, customer mobile number, customer email address. So a lot of standard features, standard data which comes in. So which means the time taken to adopt, the time taken to realize the investment on UI masking product will be very quick. Fourth is a performance consideration, which is also a very important one, right? Why I'm stressing the point of performance is today 100%, at least if I say customers are moving towards clouds, and there are a lot of customers who are already on cloud. When it comes from SAP point of view, when it comes to rise with SAP, grow with SAP, customers are already on the cloud platform. And not only from an S4 point of view, the UI masking solutions are getting with the roadmap. I'm sure there's a very good slide which Protiviti will share on the roadmap of this product, where not limiting to only S4 data, you can go forward to limit your CRM data, Ariba data, and if you have a banking communication, how you can able to mask your bank data. So like that, lot of things which could also be considered as part of your adoption cycle. Fifth is also a very important point of view, which is your extensibility. Why I'm giving you this point of extensibility is I'm sure no customers just stop by using the standard SAP. They would have done lot of for rise-ups, right? They would have customized the product. They would have customized the reports, custom exits. Then you have ABAP programs and all those steps, wherein the necessity of the protection of the data also has to be extended to the custom applications. It could be custom application, it could be a custom printout, custom report. Uh, so UA masking is one product which could also be extended to all your rise of objects, which means not just limiting to a standard S4, even where the data is moves out of your S4. For example, when you want to send an email, whether the data which goes outside your SAP as an email, whether it can be smudged in email, smudged in printouts. So even such factors are also considered by the UI masking product. Okay, so the five point of view which I'm sharing with you is very critical as part of your data privacy solution initiatives. Not just from an UI point of view, but from an SAP product point of view, we are SAP is ready with the solution to ensure that the customers can start evaluating with the product, and also partners like Protiviti are ready to support in your engagements. Okay, this is if there are any questions, I'll be feel free to post it. I'll be there in the session for the whole session. I'm more than happy to answer any product related questions. Over to you, Ankit and Sharath.
Thank you so much, Srinath, for providing this valuable inputs and point of view. So let me now hand it over to Sarath, who is the solution leader for SAP UI masking with Protiviti. So Sarath, why don't you start with a small introduction and let's talk about the product then.
Thank you, Ankit. I'm Sharath, working as a senior manager with Protiviti, and I'm the solution leader of SAP UI masking and logging. And we have been doing at Protiviti, along with the partnership of SAP, we have been doing several implementations on SAP UI masking and helping the clients to protect the organizational sensitive data. Uh, uh, we be it customer master data, vendor related data, personal sensitive information of the employee, so on and so forth. In the next few minutes, I will talk about all the use cases and the SAP UI masking solution as a whole. What is SAP UI masking and how it helps the organization to protect the data? What is the output screen or how does it look once the data is masked for the end users of SAP in your organization? I will be walking through that, followed by the use cases. And if there are any questions, we will be taking those questions at the end of the session. Uh, so to begin with,
Sarath, why don't you just come closer to the mic as well while you speak? Yeah.
oh, oh, is it better now?
Uh, Slightly better, but if you can come a bit closer.
Oh, I hope it should be good.
Yeah, yeah. Go ahead, Sarath.
Okay, thank you. So SAP UI masking is a security solution to protect your data on various SAP screens of your organization, be it query, be it Webdine Pro, or be it traditional SAP UI screen. Or there are other applications as Srinath from SAP has just been mentioning, the CRM, Ariba, followed by other tools as well. You can use this SAP UI masking solution and protect the sensitive information of your organization and also achieve compliance with regard to DPDP Act. So this solution gets very easily integrated in your existing ERP system only at S4HANA. And all the custom transactions, standard transactions, query apps, Webdine Pros, whichever is the sensitive data for an organization uh, can be masked. So let it be customer master data, vendor master data, amount related information, pricing related information, so on and so forth. And the solution is very highly configurable and it can be implemented at a field level. Let's say in an SAP table, there will be multiple separate fields. Each table has lots of fields. For a specific field as well, we can implement the SAP UI masking and the data will be shown as masked for unauthorized. Whereas for authorized people, the data will be shown as in normal and the control will be done through a role in the user master record. And with this, all the existing users who are authorized can continue the operations without any issue, whereas the unauthorized users will see the sensitive data. As Srinath and others have been just mentioning before me, the best advantage or the best future of this solution is even let's say a data is being downloaded into Excel file or PDF or you are sending some PO. If an unauthorized user tries to send that data, download that data, that will be shown as masked. Whereas the authorized user is trying to download the data in Excel or PDF, it will be unmasked. So this is one of the good advantage. Not only this masking is applicable within the SAP environment, even if it is downloaded to the local laptop, desktop, the the data will be masked and the data protection will be applied there at that level as well. So and this UI masking has multiple patterns. So let's say you want to mask the last four characters, first four characters, in between four characters, just like we see the bank account numbers or credit card details on the payment pages while we are doing e-shopping. Some numbers will be masked, some numbers will be made visible. That is one good example. Likewise, based on the pattern definition of the organization needs, this UI masking can be implemented and through a role, the complete access can be controlled. A user who has access of this role, they will be continue to see the field, whereas others, they won't be able to see the field. It is a very good control which can be adapted very easily based on the need and it is easy control as well. At any point of time in the future, if let's say the user wants to see the access, the data, immediately that role can be assigned. And it is very of easy maintenance as well with this role control. And this is aligned with SAP standard as well. So lot of hook points for every UI masking, the data being masked at a particular field there will be a hook point. SAP has provided various tools to apply masking very easily. There is a trace transaction, audit log report transaction, so on and so forth. There are multiple features in SAP UI masking, workflow based UI masking. Let's say a user needs to see the data only for 2 days, then it can get approved within the SAP screen and the user can raise a request within the SAP screen of that transaction, get it approved, and he will be able to see the data only for 2 days. And approver can also take a decision and edit the number of validity days as well, how long he wants to. The user can see the data. That is workflow-based masking solution is there, self-service masking enablement is there, so on and so forth. And to break down the technical approach of SAP UI masking, there are three types of UI masking methodologies that can be implemented for SAP. First is table field role-based masking. Second is data element role-based masking, and the third is attribute-based masking. The first one, table field role-based masking, this has been the heart or pillar of UI masking technical implementation methodology since the product has been launched by SAP. So, let's say the difference between table field and data element role-based masking is very huge. And data element role-based masking has come very recently, a very great feature that has been released from SAP, which is helping the implementation time to cut down very much and also easier maintenance after the implementation as well. I will start with table field role-based masking. In table field role-based masking, the masking will be applied only to particular field of a table or a transaction which has been decided. So let's say there is a transaction, let's say there is a table in SC16 BKPF, and in BKPF amount field you want to mask. And now once it has been designed and implemented, only in the BKPF table and that amount field will be shown as mask. And let's say the same data of amount, if it is present in another table, it will be still unmarked. Whereas in the data element masking, if amount has been agreed or thought of to be masked, now wherever this amount, the same amount field is present across the SAP systems, be it on query, be it on WebDyn Pro, be it at table level or transaction level, everything will be masked in one go. This is a very good feature and which will help to cut down the implementation time and also easier maintenance. And attribute based is a masking technique which is used to implement complex masking scenarios. Let's say there is a requirement to mask only certain material descriptions of certain material code, specific material code. A user should be able to see first 5 material code descriptions and the last few other material code descriptions he should not be able to see, or the material code number. Then using ABAP code, SAP also uh, has also imbibed an ABAP cockpit for UI masking exclusively. Using that UI masking ABAP cockpit, we can easily write queries and ABAP code with very minimal coding and implement complex masking scenarios as well. These are the three different types of UI masking techniques that are widely used, and data element role-based masking and table field role-based masking are very much popular. And with regards to SAP UI masking, the benefits are as follows. Prevention of data breaches. Once the data has been masked across the organization and only the authorized people are continue to see the data, the data breaches count or the data breaches will get reduced. The impact and sensitivity of the data breaches also will come down, and increased compliance. The compliance will get increased with regards to DPDP Act, GDPR, and other regulations as well. And user experience will get increased because of the data control that has been kept, and IT costs will also get down. For example, before UI masking solution, if there is a particular field or data that wants to be masked, exclusively a custom program in your SAP system should have been developed only for that field and for that particular transaction. Again, in the future, if something is needed, again, separate logic has to be there. But with UI masking solution, it is a common product and a common platform where you can develop masking patterns across the system for any transaction or table or query streams, and so on and so forth. And it is very much easily integration is possible with the existing your ERP systems only. And it is a cost-effective alternative compared to the other data masking solutions or which are available in the market. And it is also gives granular control. As Srinath from SAP has just been mentioning, you will get a granular control completely for any field or transaction. Let's say you want to mask the data, it will be shown as asterisk. let's say you don't want to show the data, instead show it as a complete blank field, that is also possible. Let's say the field itself should not be visible on the SAP screen, that is also possible through SAP UI masking product. And it gives extreme good efficiency and flexibility, and the implementation time is very, very low, because uh, there is no end user, there is no or minimal inputs or end user impact. Once the implementation has gone live, end user will see the mask data after an official communication. So this way, the implementation time, be it on the configuration side, on the technical side, everywhere, compared to the other traditional implementation for UI masking, is very, very short, and it will take very little time. Uh, these are some of the key benefits of UI masking. Uh, Ankit, can you go to? So how SAP UI masking works? In short, this is how it is visible, or after UI masking implementation is completed. On the left-hand side, you can see before UI masking, the data is completely visible. All the numericals, alphanumeric is completely visible with no restriction. Any user can see this data. But on the right-hand side, after UI masking is implemented, we can clearly see that the amount field can be seen as asterisk instead of the actual number. So this asterisk will be seen by the unauthorized user in the organization, and only authorized user still will be able to see the actual data without any disruption. It is a very simple and clear, easy understanding, or implementable solution. So before, the data will be visible, and after, based on the need, it will be again shown as asterisks. And these asterisks, as I was just mentioning, the patterns are very much customizable. The first two characters can be visible in the actual data, and the last two characters can be visible based on the actual data, and all the middle characters can be shown as stars. That is also one good feature. And use cases and scenarios. So some of the use cases and scenarios are as follows. So in the real estate industry, customer data, vendor data, employee personal information, payroll related data if you are using SAP for your payroll processing, financial data and other important information can be masked. And for manufacturing industries, pricing related data, inventory data, again customer data, supply chain information, quality control can be masked, and pharma, pricing related, patient, drug formulation, and financial data can be masked. And telecom organizations can mask for subscriber data, financial data, billing information, so on and so forth. For oil and gas, asset management, financial data, health and safety reports, and key fields of the organization can also be achieved through masking, followed by financial services, credit risk analysis reports, regulatory reporting information, fraud detection data, customer data can be masked and achieve data protection. So this is on the how SAP UI masking works. What are the technical implementation approaches, and how UI masking is before implementation and after implementation. How the data is visible to the end users, and some of the good use case scenarios across the industry sector wise, which are popularly being masked by various organizations. So with that being said, I will transfer this back to Ankit. So, Ankit, over to you for discussion on the roadmap. Thank you.
Sorry. So thank you so much, Sarath, for the detailed session about the SAP UI masking. So what I will spend some time, and which is a very, very important aspect, that what should be an effective roadmap for a data protection implementation. Now, of course, we are emphasizing on the fact that we have SAP UI masking is one of the key solutions for achieving this particular robust framework that we are trying to implement. But for the entire roadmap, it has to start with, you have to identify what kind of data you need to mask, or let's say protect. You need to do the classification on this. Then you have to understand the strong masking techniques, and the masking techniques we have already explained. It has to be robust. It should not be like that. We are achieving some custom through some custom solution. We are trying to achieve something for a specific field or a specific table, or let's say a specific element. It has to be robust in a way that it can configure, and it can be an easy switch when it comes to masking the incremental field as and when you add during your entire journey. So it has to be a robot solution. And then again, what we also emphasize on the fact that yes, S4 HANA being the core financial books, but there are data that are residing on the other applications as well, like Ariba, like SuccessFactor, like Concur, or let's say C4C as well. Those has to be included, and Srinath mentioned that there is a strong roadmap for that as well. And then finally, once we do that, what is the effectiveness of that particular solution which we have used to protect the data from? Is it just on a general application layer, or once we mask, it gets masked from everywhere? And that's a robust solution that we are talking about. If we mask at one level, whether you extract that data, whether let's say you see it on your mobile, for someone who who can't see the data, that person should not be able to see it using any medium. And that's what SAP UI masking will help you achieve the solution. Now, what's the future trend like? Now, a lot of insights was given by Srinath already, but there are technological advancements that are happening. And right from, of course, we are in the AI generation. So there are AI enhanced security, AI and machine learning for rapid breach detection. While someone tries to do the detection, there always has to be a preventive measure by blocking those. There has to be a zero trust model. There has to be a quantum resistant encryption model, which a lot of organization has started to implement. Evolving regulations, yes, it will continue to evolve. It will continue to change, and we need to have some products that can not only cater to a stagnant regulation requirement. It has to be a robust solution that as and when changes happen in kind of any kind of regulations, any kind of laws and compliances, the product should be able to adapt that, whether it is by design, let's say by product, or it has to be within the solution itself. Then, of course, organizational shifts measures are there. There will be change in data governance policies. There will be change in the cybersecurity aspects, and every organization right now is focusing as one of the top four priorities for any organization right now is the cybersecurity investment. Employee trainings matters a lot. That's part of the overall change management and the organizational shift. How are you managing your third party risk? How are you making sure your compliances are automated? And that's where Srinath also touched base that there are controls, there are granular controls which for by which you can manage your data, which can be facilitated through SAP UI masking. But there are other solutions to answer the last pillar, which is under organizational shift, which, for example, let's say SAP GRC process control, financial compliance management solutions, or risk management solution, or business integrity solution. When these all suite come together, each of the domain within the organizations will be properly monitored, properly controlled. So now one of the important area and one of the important topics, and I would really like to now invite Mr. Srinivas Rao, and we have an exclusive session with Mr. Srinivas Rao, and there are some questions that we have going to ask with Mr. Srinivas Rao. So thank you so much, Mr. Srinivas, again for joining this session. There are some things that we really want to ask you. And specifically around how you were able to manage the data protection within your organization. So first of all, one of the important asks from most of the organization, what was the main reason for you to go for SAP UI masking as a solution, and what were the factors influenced for your decisions to choose to go ahead with SAP UI masking as a solution to protect your data?
Yeah. Am I audible, Ankit?
Yes. Clearly, Mr. Srinivas, please proceed.
Thank you so much for giving this opportunity to share our experience with UI masking, Ankit. See, when I think one of the topic, I think Sharath is already conveyed one topic. I liked very much that one. Yes, I want to highlight that. See, what happened when DPDP Act came into the active, then everybody started concentrating on that, Srini, what you're doing for our data, what you're doing for our data. Okay. Then we thought that actually we also not aware that something is there in the market to like by SAP something is available with them. Then what we thought is okay, let me build one above wherever it is appearing. Okay, so that I will try to mask the data so that it will not appear. Either mask the data or else completely hide the data. Now, I think Sharath is already explained. It's a cost. I attempted only 2 reports. Then where basically the customer phone number and email ID is appearing. Then when I started, okay, there are another 20 reports are available where the data is appearing, customer data. There are few more reports are available. The vendor bank information is coming. There are a lot of standard T codes there. When I double click there, it will navigate to the next. That is the power of SAP, no doubt. But unfortunately, if people know how to navigate, how to use the SAP, they can navigate to that extent and they can get the data. Then we thought that I think this is not the correct approach what we are doing. Then we started interacting with SAP. Okay, then do you have anything for that? Okay. Now before that, actually in between what happened, see, in any industry, we consider customer data, vendor data, employee data. These three are sensitive data as far as my real estate industry. When it comes to real estate industry, the challenges are two. One is when the customer bought the property initially. The moment customer bought the property, customers used to get the call from the banks. And customers used to call us. Sir, every bank is calling us. How they know our phone number? How they know that we bought the particular property and particular unit along with those details? We don't know really. That is the one. Like end of the property, once we handed over the occupancy, sorry, handover. You know, there are a lot of auxiliary industries available in the industry for the real estate property buyers, like interiors. All interior companies started calling that, sir, we got to know that you have taken the property, that we are offering the interior services to them. Now then these two areas, customers are getting irritated and they are calling us, sir, how they know that, okay, we taken the property from you. Then they started calling. Then we thought that then our CRM has escalated. Srini, can you get the extract that who are all having the data, who are all can the download? 1000 plus users, 500 plus T codes, 100 plus reports. How can I analyze from where the data is leaking from the system? Then we thought that then we started interacting with SAP. Then we started interacting with the Protiviti. But the factors influenced, I rightly asked. See, these are all the few areas like my customer data, how to protect. And so that if somebody asks me, I can say that, boss, my data is protected. Now, the second area is the vendor bank details. This is also very sensitive area. I don't want to show any of my bank details to any of my. The next area is the employee information. See, these are all the areas. Then we thought that we need to protect the data. Then we started searching for the solution. These are all the primarily factors influenced for us to search for the product. Then we got to know the SAP UI masking, Ankit.
Great. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for providing those answers in detail. The second question would be, now we know for any conventional SAP solutions, it takes a lot of time, and Srinath touched upon that this UI masking is a solution which can be quickly implemented. So why don't you just provide your experience about the entire journey of the implementation?
Yeah, even yes, Ankit. Even I thought that SAP UI masking is uh, may take actually 2 to 3 months, but it's as Srinath said that it's not. It will not take much time if you have what exactly you need to achieve. Uh, See, in our experience, basically, if you ask me my experience to share in my implementation, what we thought is when we analyzing the product with Protiviti team, then we started asking that uh, to implement what exactly I'm supposed to be ready.
Yeah.
Then Sharath and your team is helped us. Okay, see, before kickstart the project, you are supposed to identify, Srini, which are all the sensitive fields you want to mask and what kind of masking you want to do. Like today we did like the phone number partial masking, email ID partial masking, some sensitive data like fully masking. Like we supposed to finalize what fields are supposed to be and what kind of masking is required. Okay. Then second thing is I feel that is also one of the important criteria. Who are all the users and what data they need to access? With my experience, this is very important for me because this is the one area, even post go live also I struggled slightly. Based on my experience, like CRM team, accounts team, we have taken the list of users who need this data, who doesn't need this data. Then we have taken that, okay, we identified the list of users and we identified a sense of fields and the criteria. That is the one of the biggest challenge when you are doing the implementation for the SAP UI masking. I think Sharath explained very detailed. We should know what kind of masking is required. And second thing is at what level of masking is required. Okay. Now during implementation, okay, we also decided that okay, Sharath actually suggested few things, but finally I decided something else. Like Srini, this is the best approach is go ahead with either T code or uh, data element level. Okay. Then finally we decided that see the thing is in SAP there are thousands of tables, hundreds of T codes. Now if I start digging that actually okay which T code, which screen, where I'm supposed to show, where I'm not supposed to do, and to whom I need to show. That was really big task. If I start taking that, I can't finish the project in 1 month. Then what I did is very closely I work with Protiviti team. I kept keep it ready, everything, what exactly I need to do. And we have taken the criteria as a data element. Because we have taken the criteria as a data element, the biggest problem what we had is, sorry, we must this fields in data element level. The moment when you go for live, see one more thing, what we approach is, because we are having 1,000+ users. If you ask me exactly who needs, who doesn't need, it's very difficult for me. Then we thought that we have taken slightly a negative approach. Basically, I will not suggest that, but in my experience, what we taken is we have taken the data element level masking so that the completely wherever the field is appearing on the screen, whether it is forms, whether it is Excel, whether it is a report, whether it is any T code, the mobile number is blocked. That means everything is blocked. Now, subsequently, then once it is blocked, we know few people where CRM and all they may need, then we have opened. Then we got the request and accordingly we opened and we have given it to them. But at this moment today, if you ask me, I know who are all having access, who are all doesn't having access. I feel that I have a data I've secured my data. I secured my customers' data. Hope I answered your question, Ankit.
Yes, yes. Thank you so much. Thanks a lot, Srinivas. And so while the journey was going on, and of course, thank you so much in providing again in detail. So eventually, when the implementation was done, so how was the benefit realized, and how did it help your overall initiative of this transformative engagement at Prestige Group?
Okay. See, one of the biggest benefit what I will say, uh, see, we are working on uh, cyber security and we are working on ISP 27001. We have initiated a lot of initiatives and the data privacy is the is the part for each and every activity, whether it is you take it as a cyber security, you take it as a ISO certificate, all these things. Then this actually the DBDP Act and UI masking implementation is helped me to convey to my cybersecurity auditor and ISO auditor. At the same time, we have my internal auditor. Every time they used to come and ask me, uh, Srini, this can you give me the who are having the access for to access the customer data? Very difficult for me to get that data because a lot of T codes are there. Now, whenever my internal auditors are coming and asking, I need to extract the data simply whatever the roles we define to mask each and every sensitive field. I need to filter the roles and I need to give it to my auditors. These are all the are having the access. So that now today, uh, I am ensuring that all my IT initiatives that my data is protected. And at the same time, I am able to answer my all internal auditors and ITGC auditors that my data is protected. I think this will help me a lot. See, when you ask me, it's very difficult for me to explain the what business is getting benefited. Okay.
Yeah.
But I feel more in if I change my sentence actually in IT aspect, from the management perspective, there are few things are which are supposed to be comply. There we got benefited more.
Okay, okay, okay. All right. Thanks, Mr. Srinivas. And I think overall experience was extremely delightful. I think, like you mentioned, that yes, it was a a very quick implementation, and you need to know what you need to mask or let's say protect before the start of the engagement, so that the implementation is even faster. Now, you have gone through this journey. A lot of attendees are there. A lot of our esteemed clients are already there in this webinar session. What kind of experience you want to share with them when they go for the SAP UI masking journey? Because you have done this implementation. Any kind of learnings that you want to share with them? Yeah.
Okay. See, if you are using SAP products, your core applications are SAP. Like if you ask me, in Prestige, our core applications is SAP. Like whether it is SAP C4C, whether it's SuccessFactors, whether it is SAP S4H, Fieri. Basically, our core applications are SAP. Then we also thought that when our core application is SAP, okay, better to go ahead with any SAP solution. That was the one decision for me to get into the SAP UI masking, no doubt, because I didn't explore any other tools. The primarily because my core is SAP, I thought that let me reach SAP directly whether they have any solution or not. When I found solution which is meeting my requirement, then immediately I finalized and I go ahead. Then the second experience I would like to share is, see what will happen till today. Like in my Prestige experience, if you ask me, that we are using almost 8, 9+ years in SAP. The most of the users who are working in SAP transactions, they all know where to see the data when they need any for the transactions. If somebody wants to, when they are doing the vendor invoice bill booking, they want to see the vendor bank details, they know, they will double click and they will go there, they will verify the raw details.
Yeah.
Now, they know the path for everything. Now, suddenly, what will happen if you are not actually the way I made my project success is, we regularly updated to the my all SAP users and organization and the management and all HODs to that we are doing this implementation. Okay, with this the data will be masked so that if anybody needs the data for a specific usage, they need to take the approval from the HOD and they need to send it to the SAP team. Then we will analyze and we will provide the rights to you. So that what will happen? It helps me the moment when I go for live. I didn't get any specifically like, sir, till now we are working, but we are not able to work. Because it's continuously, I'm in touch with all my business team through my internal circulations to make them aware that we are doing this. I think that is the one place I feel I would like to give a suggestion to whoever wants to implement. Please circulate to everybody because suddenly the moment when you block something, they may feel that something you are taking away from them, or else they may feel that uh, they are doing something, hence we are removed from them. But if you circulate to everybody, they may feel that this is the organization's initiative, so that it is going to impact everybody. It's a good for people. I feel this is the one advice I would like to give it to everybody, Ankit.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Mr. Srinivas. I think thanks for, first of all, being here, providing all your valuable insights. I'm sure it's not going to only help us, also help us SAP overall, and also the attendees that we have. A lot of organizations have joined, and I think they will get a lot of insights from this particular Q&A session with you. Thank you so much, Mr. Srinivas, for joining us. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Ankit.
So we still have almost 4 minutes, and I think there are three questions that are all put in the chat. Two questions primarily, and these were answered. And for both the questions, the answer is yes. And there were around 4 to 5 questions that we received prior to the session already. So Sarath, why don't you read some of those questions and provide the answers to that as well?
Sure, sure. So we have received 3 to 4 questions just before we have started the webinar. So to answer the question, is it compatible with S4HANA? As Ankit was mentioning, yes, it is very much compatible. And not only for S4HANA, even for ECC, SAP ECC also, this solution do support, and masking will get applied for even if for SAP ECC. And we got some questions.
Sarath, you probably need to come closer to the mic, yeah?
Yeah.
Please go ahead now.
Yeah. The question that we have received is, can SAP UI masking be customized to meet the unique compliance needs of our organization? Yes. The answer is yes. The UI masking is completely customizable. with regards to DPDP compliance, some sensitive fields, personal identifiable information needs to be protected through data protection. And yes, even if an organization has their own sensitive field that needs to be masked, this is very much possible. And the next question we have received was, how does SAP UI masking impact system performance? So with regards to this, SAP UI masking sits on presentation layer, and there is no disruption or no performance degradation that happens after UI masking is implemented. So it is completely, there would be a very milli fraction of seconds here and there during the first time the screen is executed, but overall the system performance won't get degraded in the way of accessibility for any end user of your SAP. And the last question we also received is, what kind of data can be masked using SAP system? So all the data related, be it numericals, alphanumericals, material descriptions. One of the questions today was, can masking be done for different material types? Yes, it is possible. For material types also it is possible. All the data, be it numeric, alphanumeric, or on the Excel, or you are releasing a pivot, yes, it is possible. And these are some questions that we have received. I see one more question coming in. What will be approximate implementation duration period to complete this masking? The as we were just discussing about it, the implementation time is very faster comparing with the other traditional SAP implementation. So it depends on the number of fields that you would like to mark as an organization. But if the number of fields are low, it usually takes 1 to 1.5 months on average to complete the complete engagement. But if the number of fields are higher, then the implementation time can get increased a little bit slightly higher than that. So these are some
But
questions.
overall, yes, implementation is quite fast, very rapid when compared to the traditional any implementation as well.
Sir.
Yeah. So Asarath, any further question that you have?
That's all from my end.
All right. I think we are right on time. So thank you so much, Mr. Srinivas, again. Thank you so much, Srinath, for joining us. Thanks a lot. Any last minute thoughts, Mr. Srinivas and Srinath, from your side before we wrap up the session?
Nothing, Ankit. If anybody needs any information how to make it successful, if anybody need in, just I'm happy to share with them. You can share my contact details so that if they would like to talk to me about my experiences, I'm happy to share my experiences. So definitely, I would like to say thanks to you also, Protiviti team, because as I rightly said that to complete that project in 1.5 month, the exercise which we did before and after it helped us a lot. So that I think it's not like an implementation partner, just come and do the implementation. You made us prepare before implementation also what it is supposed to be ready. I think I would like to say thanks to Sharath and your team also to make it our implementation as successful.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Mr. Srinivas. Thanks a lot. Thank you. Srinath, any last minute thoughts from your side?
Hey, thanks, Ankit. Thanks, Srini. First of all, Srinivas, thank you to give a voice for the UI. Okay. Even though the personified application, you made it really make it live. Thanks to Srini, thanks to Sharath to make Prestige team happier, happy customer, happy implementation partner. That's what the SAP's goal also. Final output would be if at all is any queries on your DPDP Act and also how SAP could able to help them, please feel free to reach out to your SAP account executive or to the Protiviti team. We'd be happy to support on your initiatives. Thank you.
Thank you. Thanks a lot,
Thank you.
Sarath. Thanks a lot for your on detailed session. Thank you, Mr. Srinivas. Thank you, Srinath. Thanks a lot, everyone, for joining as well.
Thank you.
Thank
everyone,
you.
for joining.
Thank you, Sharath. Thank you, Srinath. Bye.
Thank you.